Welcome to the Now, I'm Ashley Jenkins. Mass Effect Andromeda could have had a totally different problem on its hands than doofy animations. So at one point, the game apparently played a lot more like No Man's Sky. In a recent interview with Finder.com.au, Mass Effect producer Fabrice Condominas revealed that BioWare dabbled with a procedural planet generation system for over a year, which would have given players access to playable non-story planets as they explored space. Condominas said, "Our conclusion at the time was that it wasn't for us in the sense that it wasn't for the type of game we were doing. Because all the content we build, we try and make to a high quality, but when we tried procedurally generated content, we never reached the level of quality we wanted." Condominas went on to say he hopes that Hello Games land back on their feet after all the criticism they endured. Translation. I know that feel, bro. Going through it right now. Call of Duty World War II made its leaky debut over the weekend thanks to leaked marketing materials hitting the web. At the time, we heard at least one independent source from PC Games and confirming that it was real. Now we've got another. EUROGAMER has also weighed in on the existence of Call of Duty World War II with their own report today, writing that multiple sources have also confirmed the game's title to them. Now, if you'll remember, EUROGAMER first broke the news of Infinite Warfare's space setting around this same time last year. So it looks like this year's Call of Duty being set in World War II is pretty much a sure thing at this point, so get ready for it. Rocket League continues to gain popularity on all platforms, but that recent surge in players has resulted in some problems for the game. After weeks of reports of matchmaking delays and server outages, developer Psyonix has had to respond to the game's angry players. Angry players. CEO Dave Hagewood wrote in a recent blog post, "In regards to both back-end SciNet issues and game server performance, we agree that the server outages and recent lengthy matchmaking times are totally unacceptable. We sincerely apologize to all of our players for the quality of online play, and we're focusing all of our available resources on addressing SciNet's capabilities and performance and the quality of our game servers." According to Hagewood, the game's population has actually spiked by 40% over the first few months of 2017. Now, in other Rocket League news, which could put even more strain on the servers, the company still being cagey about whether or not the game could make its way to Nintendo Switch. VP Jeremy Dunham told IGN they're still evaluating demand for the game on Nintendo's new platform. Maybe evaluate the demand on your servers, because I can tell you right now that it would be awesome on the Switch, right? It'd be so good. If you've been dying to play Halo Wars 2 on PC, but you don't want to mess with Microsoft's ecosystem, you might be in luck, because we've got hints that Halo Wars 2 may soon be coming to Steam. One player recently tweeted photos from the definitive edition of the PC version, which mentions a connection to Steam being offline. Now, some are taking this as a clue that Halo Wars 2 could be getting a Steam release, much like what we saw with another Microsoft exclusive, Quantum Break. It'd be a little bit of a bigger deal to see part of the Halo franchise on a separate platform. So we'll see if this actually shakes out, but Microsoft has said in the past that they are open to distributing on Steam, so there you go. We'll see just how open. Recently, there's been a bit of a fuss over certain multi-platform games being more expensive on Nintendo Switch than other platforms, thanks largely to the cost of cartridges, it sounds like. But it seems like Warner Brothers may be trying to get around that with the release of LEGO City Undercover by requiring an enormous download. It's been discovered that the retail box for the game mentions a 13GB download, which is let's tally that up. It's 1/3 of the Switch's entire capacity, more than that actually, but it's half of the Switch's effective capacity, which is like 26GB. Some players are upset about this because it indicates that Warner Brothers is making a trade-off of choosing a cheaper cartridge but passing the download off to gamers who are going to have to pay more for storage in the way of micro SD cards. Now, for their part, Warner Brothers sent a statement this week to multiple outlets about the issue, writing, "Players who purchase LEGO City Undercover on Nintendo Switch at retail do not need to download the game to play. We'll keep an eye on the situation to see if it develops any further. Either way, looks like more developers could be running into problems with Switch cartridges." Overwatch, obviously, really popular game, and a league of the best Overwatch players could make millions. A lot of money. A lot of millions. So many millions. PC Gamer quotes a report from .esports that the game could pull in as much as $720 million per year. That would, by the way, be the best case scenario, but even more likely scenario still has an Overwatch league making $100 million annually. And yeah, so $100 million, nowhere near $720 million, but it's still a lot of millions. So that would include $32 million from licensing and advertising and another $30 million in sponsorships, with the rest coming in tickets and merchandise sales. To achieve the $100 million valuation, Morgan Stanley estimated that Overwatch will need 72,000 average active viewers for regular season matches and 7.7 million for the playoffs. To hit the 720 million figure, those numbers go way up to 75,000 for the regular season and 12 million for the playoffs. Those sound like a lot, but League of Legends and Dota hit those numbers, so it's totally possible. At any rate, Overwatch remains really, really popular, the report says. 17 million of Overwatch's 25 million registered players are monthly active users, which that's a really good retention rate after it's been on shelves for nearly a year. Right, so Outlast 2 almost got banned in Australia for a scene in the game that had implied sexual violence, but the Australian Classification Board ended up backing down and gave it an R18+ rating after developer Red Barrels removed the scene, or changed the scene somehow. So, did the developer actually censor their own product? They did put a statement out earlier saying that it would have one version of the game worldwide, which made it sound like they kind of censored it for everybody instead of creating a separate Australian version. But Red Barrels issued a statement saying that actually, that questionable content never should have been in the game. The statement, according to PC Gamer, said the original submissions of Outlast 2 sent to the Australian Classification Branch contained the final game code and a video file for reference taken from an alpha version of the game. This video file should not have been sent along with the game code, as its content was not representative of the final game. So, either Red Barrels is now revising history, or they're telling the truth and they need to be a little bit more careful about what they send out. Honestly, even if they are telling the truth, no one wants to believe that story. It's not as nearly as fun. At any rate, the game will release on April 25th. Now, it looks like there might be a live-action Akira after all, because we just can't leave anything alone. Gizmodo reports that some progress is being made on the Western remake of the anime classic. On the latest episode of Meet the Movie Press, it was reported that both Daniel Espinosa, who directed Life, and David Sandberg, who made Lights Out, are currently being discussed as the frontrunners to direct the film. Of course, there have been many other directing candidates for the movie, including Justin Lin of Fast and Furious fame, Christopher Nolan, George Miller, and none of those have panned out. Maybe because no one wants to mess with the classic. Oh, I guess we'll see. Maybe that'll all change if Ghost in the Shell comes out and is actually good. The new trailer for Spider-Man Homecoming hit the internet this morning and gave us a little bit of, well, everything. Spider-Man saving people from a destroyed Staten Island ferry, Iron Man taking away his suit as punishment because he's grounded, apparently, even some of Michael Keaton's origin story as the Vulture. But did it give away, like, actually everything, like, way too much? Some people certainly think so. The Verge wrote that fans should sit this one out, especially if you hate spoilers. Even Jonathan Hickman, who's written for a number of Marvel titles, tweeted, "Don't watch the new Spider-Man trailer, it gives away too much." Meanwhile, Tom Holland, who plays Spidey 3.0, told Variety that he didn't consult with previous Spider-Men about his new gig. "I wasn't in touch with them," he told Variety. "They both said some really lovely things about me online. I met Andrew Garfield at the BAFTAs the other day. It was cool." So we'll see how good a job Holland does in his new role this summer. The movie hits theaters July 7th. I mean, if his cameo it was any indication in Civil War, I think we have a lot to look forward to, but now I'm scared to watch the trailer. Apparently, you're gonna wanna sit down for this. Not everyone was a fan of Windows 10. I know, it's shocking. Some users in Illinois are suing Microsoft, claiming that the free upgrade caused them to lose their data and messed up their hard drives. Ars Technica reported that the suit claims there should have been greater warnings that Windows 10 may damage PCs, and that it should have told consumers to make backups. Now, you might remember that Microsoft offered Windows 10 as a free upgrade to Windows 7 and 8.1 users for the first year of its release. It now has more than 400 million users. The suit seeks more than $5 million in damages. For its part, Microsoft says the claims are without merit and added, "If a customer who upgraded during the one-year program needed help with the upgrade experience, we had numerous options, including free customer support and 31 days to roll back to their old operating system." Wow, so it kind of sounds like they're telling these folks to just get good at computers. Anyway, for $5 million, they could buy like really, really nice Linux machines. All right, that's all the story we have for you guys today. Let us know what you think of all the news in the comments below. Make sure you like this video, and to make sure you get news from every corner of the internet every day, subscribe to the Now. Now, according to Haygood, the game's population has spiked by 40% over the past few months of 2017. According to Haygood, the game's population. Switch cartridges. Switch cartridges.
Just put a space.
Switch cartridges.